If I told you my wife used to hate me, would you believe it? And if I said that hate slowly became my biggest lesson, what would you say? Honestly, even I didn't realize when love turned into anger, and when anger turned into silence. My name is Ryan. I'm married to Emma. In the beginning, everything felt like a dream. When she smiled, it was like my whole world lit up. But slowly, something started to change. So slowly, I didn't even notice. A few months into our marriage, Emma started getting angry over little things. At first, I thought it was normal. Every relationship has its ups and downs. But then the anger kept growing. One day she just said, "You never listen to me." That day, I thought it was just another fight. But I didn't know it was the beginning of the end for us. Gradually, she drifted away. We lived under the same roof, but felt like we were in two different worlds. Sometimes she wouldn't talk to me for hours. Other times she'd yell without any reason. I kept wondering, what did I do wrong? But I never got an answer. Then one day, she said something that broke me inside. "I wish I never married you." Time stood still at that moment. I looked at her, but the Emma in front of me wasn't the woman I loved. That's when our story took a turn I never imagined. After that day, I started trying to change myself. I thought maybe it was my fault. Maybe I wasn't making her happy. I began spending more time at home. I cooked her favorite meals. I tried to make her smile with little things. But strangely, the more I tried, the farther she seemed to get. One night she suddenly asked, "Why are you doing all this?" I said, "Because I want you to be happy." She laughed, but it was a strange kind of laugh. "I don't want any of this," she said coldly. That's when I realized it wasn't just about the little fights. Something deeper was wrong. Something I couldn't understand. I tried talking to her. "Emma, what's wrong? Why aren't you the same?" But she always avoided the conversation. Then one day, I found her crying alone. She looked so broken that my heart ached. I went to her, but she pushed me away. "Leave me alone," she said. At that moment, I wondered, was she angry at me or at herself? And that's when my perspective started to shift. But I still didn't know the full truth. Days passed, and the distance between us grew even more. We only spoke about what was necessary. But one thing kept bothering me. Emma's anger wasn't just about me anymore. She was angry at everything. At work, at herself, at life. One day I saw her phone. I'd never done that before, but something felt different that day. There was no message or affair, but there was a note. It said, "Why am I not happy?" Reading that left me speechless. Was she really that unhappy, or just trying to get away from me? That night, I thought a lot. For the first time, I stopped blaming myself. Maybe it wasn't just my failure. Maybe she was fighting a battle inside. The next day, I tried talking to her again, but this time differently. I said, "You might be angry at me, but don't fight with yourself." She looked at me for a few seconds, then walked away without saying a word. But in her eyes, for the first time, I saw something else. Maybe pain. And that's when I felt, maybe our story wasn't over yet. After that day, something changed. Something small, but noticeable. Emma still got angry, but it wasn't as intense as before, like she was tired of fighting. One evening, we sat quietly together. The TV was on, but neither of us was watching it. Suddenly she asked, "Are you really happy?" That question hit me deep inside. I took a moment to answer, then said, Maybe not. She looked at me and said, "Me neither." At that moment, we realized something. We were both hurting, just in different ways. But then she said something that stopped me. "I think I've lost myself." Her voice was trembling. For the first time, I didn't try to hug her. I just sat beside her. Because sometimes, just being there is enough. And that's when our story took a new turn. The pain behind the anger started coming out. After that night, we began talking. Slowly, without pressure. Emma shared that she wasn't happy with herself. She felt like she left her dreams behind somewhere. "I'm not who I wanted to be," she said. Hearing her, I realized her anger wasn't really about me. She was fighting herself. I told her, "You can still be who you want to be." She laughed. "It's too late now." Was it really too late? Or just her fear talking? I started supporting her. I stood by her small steps forward, but every time she'd pull back. "I'm scared," she said one day. That's when I understood. Behind anger, there's always fear. And if we understand that fear, maybe the anger fades away on its own. But can we really overcome that fear? That question became the biggest one in my life. Over time, Emma started to change a little. She picked up her old hobbies again. At first, she hesitated, but slowly her confidence came back. I watched her and thought, maybe this is the Emma I fell in love with. But it wasn't easy. Sometimes her anger came back, for no reason at all. One day she suddenly said, "You can't understand what I feel." She was right. I really couldn't. But I didn't stop trying. I said, "Maybe I don't understand, but I'm with you." She went quiet. And in that silence, there was a strange kind of peace. Is this what a relationship is? Where everything isn't perfect, but it's real? I didn't have the answer, but I was learning. And maybe so was she. Slowly, the distance between us started to shrink. We started talking again, laughing again. But this time, everything was different. We weren't trying to change each other. We were just trying to understand. One day, Emma said, "Forgive me." I asked, "For what?" She said, "For being angry at you." I smiled. "Your anger taught me everything." She looked at me surprised, and for the first time, she hugged me like she used to. In that moment, I realized, anger is never the enemy. It's just a sign that something inside is broken. And if we understand that brokenness, maybe we can save the relationship. But does every story end like this? Maybe not. But ours did take a turn. Now when I look back, I see that anger was really a call for help. Emma wasn't angry at me. She was angry at herself. And I just took too long to understand her. If I had given up then, maybe we wouldn't be together today. Relationships aren't easy. Sometimes we think the other person has changed. But the truth is, they're breaking inside. Emma isn't perfect today. Neither am I. But now we're not against each other. We're with each other. And that's the biggest win. So if there's someone in your life who gets angry over everything, before you walk away, think once. Are they really angry with you or with themselves? Because sometimes the angriest person is the one who's hurting the most inside. And maybe all they need is someone who understands them. This was my story of a wife filled with anger and the love hidden behind that anger.